Good Thursday, Anona, family, friends. Time for our devotion. This is our third week of focusing in on the Wesley Challenge, 21 questions that help us form a deeper faith. The first week we looked at those questions that related to our relationship with God, an upward focus. Last week we looked at those questions that focused on ourselves, our inward self. So that was a focus inward. This week we're looking at questions that focus on our relationship with others. So it's an outward focus. Wesley's questions challenge us to think beyond just ourselves and towards how we treat others. And so today's question is, am I jealous, impure, critical, irritable, touchy, or distrustful? Now, these questions were meant for us to really focus on these issues, not just some superficial look at them. But how do my actions relate to others? How do what I do affect other people? If we mistreat or neglect others, it means we mistreat or neglect Jesus. If we go back to the story in Matthew 25, where he talks about the judgment of the world, where he says, "Come and inherit the kingdom." Jesus said, when you fed the hungry, when you clothed them, when you visited them in prison, when you did it to them, you did it unto the least of these, you did it to me. But likewise, the way we treat other people, if we mistreat them or neglect them, we also mistreat or neglect Jesus. Now let's look at some of these. Am I jealous? Am I critical? Am I irritable? Am I touchy? All of these emotions that we have are things that when we feel those, we begin to have negative thoughts about other people. And our negative thoughts about other people also affect how we react to them and work with them and relate to them. And so when we have these kinds of emotional thoughts, it's a barrier that we put up that means we are no longer in a relationship that's good. If we have impure thoughts about others, we don't have positive intentions toward our relationship with them. And the big one, distrustful. Now, it's good to sometimes be cautious or suspicious. That's one thing. But to live distrustfully of other people means you have no confidence in them. And if you have no confidence in others, how can you have a good relationship? And so our Bible verse today comes from 2 Corinthians 7:1. Therefore, since we have these promises, dear friends, let us purify ourselves from everything that contaminates body and spirit, perfecting holiness out of reverence for God. Some translations put that out of fear of God. That idea that we do these things, purify ourselves, and seek holiness because of reverence for God, because we want to follow what He calls us to do. So as we work on those, how can we deal with our jealous thoughts, our impure, our critical, or all of those? Because to be honest, we know we all have them. They're emotional thoughts that when something happens, sometimes we react on that emotion of being jealous or being critical. And when we react, we sometimes don't take that time to think it out. Here at Anona, one of the things that we teach in our preschool, as well as we try to follow in other things, is conscious discipline. And one of the first things we teach in conscious discipline is the word star. When something happens to you and you have those emotions kick in because it's something that either shocks you or frightens you or challenges you, sometimes those emotions cause us to react quickly without really thinking. And so STAR stands for stop, take a breath, and relax. If we stop, take a breath, and relax, we compose ourselves to then really think about what the situation is, not just react to our emotions. Sometimes our emotions, however, get the best of us, and after a while we have to do something to work through that. As we talk through it with other people, that helps us. There may be other things that we can do. Maybe we can read scripture. Maybe we can listen to music. Maybe there are things that soothe our soul when something has upset us or gotten to us. But those are the times we need to think about, how do I deal with others? And what is my relationship and action with others? How is that influencing their relationship with Jesus and God? Is it positive or is it negative? So I hope this week you'll have an opportunity to think about this question. Think about those times and what those triggers are that get you going. And stop, take a breath, relax. Think about how we treat others is a reflection of how we treat Jesus. Hope you'll join us in worship this week. Hope you have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. Look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.